Well, hello there, everybody. So, recently I had an idea. I was watching a video from my friend StossDrunk, who basically stole all my ideas for StossDrunk. And he was doing videos where instead of doing scripted content, he was just playing a game and talking over it. Specifically, games like The Simpsons for the arcade and X-Men for the arcade, and even games like Chrono Trigger. And I was thinking to myself, well, that makes no sense. Why would you play games that aren't even libertarian? That just makes no sense at all. So I figured I have to do the right thing and record an LP, as it's called, and some people call them Let's Plays, but let's face it, they're libertarian plays, or at least that's what they should be. So I've got a copy here of the Final Fantasy Pixel Perfect Remaster. And in itself, right there, is a libertarian philosophy. I mean, they've repackaged this game so many times. It originally came out for the NES and the Famicom, and then they re-released it for, like, the Wonder Swan, which apparently is not a bird, but an electronic device. They re-released it for the Game Boy Advance, for the PlayStation, for the PSP, mobile, the phones, and all of those fancy things that people use these days. And now here they are putting it out on the PCs in a different form. So if they're going to keep selling it, and it's going to keep selling, I figured we should play it. And we'll do a libertarian play. So let's start a new game here. If my controller would work, that would be wonderful. Maybe I should have set this thing up for Bluetooth, but alright, let's connect this in. There it goes. So we're going to play a new game, and apparently we have to select some characters here. So the first person is going to be me, Stossel. I think I have to type it in. Alright, we'll type Stossel. There we go. Use this name, some characters and symbols. I don't know why they don't display properly. It's my name. If you can't display the name Stossel, you're not even worth having. But okay. Yes. Now for the class, well, that's not good. We can't be a warrior. Naturally, we'd be the most libertarian character of all. I mean, a warrior is just basic brawn, no brain. And from what I understand, they deal the most damage and they can take the most damage, which is resilient like the free market, but that's not, I mean, they can only use weapons. They can't use magic, and that's limiting. Thieves, well, those aren't libertarian at all. They're not following by the rules of society. Monks are religious zealots, and that's not libertarian at all. Now, the red mage, we're going to get to him in a second, because I feel that's what we're going to be. White mage focuses on white magic, and the black mage focuses on black magic, and frankly, that's just racist, and That's not Stossel. Libertarians aren't racist. The free market is open to everybody. The red mage, however, they can use weapons, they can equip armor, they can use both white magic and black magic. That's the most libertarian class of all. So naturally, we're going to be the red mage. Now, we need 3 other people here. The first thing that comes to mind, we still need a warrior on the team. We need somebody who's going to be able to take the brunt of attacks and dish it back. And I think in tribute to the origins of this channel, we need this person to be StossDrunk. So, StossDrunk, you're going to be here. Oh, we have StossDrunk right here, actually. StossDrunk, how's it going? Hey, it's going pretty good there, eh? StossDrunk, you're sounding a bit Canadian there. Oh, well, you know how that happens. Don't want to give off a bad impression of me, eh? If you know what I mean. Actually, I don't know what you mean. I think you seriously do. Eh? Alright, if you say so, but it's nice to have you on board. And we're going to have you as the warrior, because your reviews just cut down the competition. That's kind of a stretch there, eh? Well, you know what? It still works. We need a white mage, though, and I think I know who we're going to get for that. We're going to get my old college professor, Elizabeth Harris, to join us. Elizabeth, are you still there with us?
I'm right here. I'm so glad to be part of this libertarian play. Even though I don't agree with your philosophies. It just doesn't seem right. In fairness, I'm more of a what would you call it? A socialist whore? That's right, a socialist whore. Yeah, I'd get mad at that except for the fact that it's true and that my white magic is going to save your ass in countable amount of times.
Now, she's probably right about that, so we're just going to name her, Beth Harris. There we go. And then finally, for a black mage, because we do want somebody who can cast destructive magic, we're going to have to get the man himself, the black wizard of music, Mr. Tom Waits. Tom, are you there with us?
I'm here and happy to be casting magic at your disposal. It's not quite the piano, but I'm happy to be here. Did you know that the whirligig beetle can shoot off bombastic clouds of explosions behind it, giving it the sense that it's bursting in air?
I did not know that, but I thank you very much for informing us of that, Tom. So, Tom Waits will be joining us as well. So there we go. Stossel, StossDrunk, Beth Harris, and Tom Waits. Let's go ahead and engage this party here. No, we already know that, so we have to confirm. Oh, we have to go to done. That makes sense. All right, and let's begin the game here. All right, so, there's dramatic music playing. And there's the ruins of a temple, clearly not the free market taking care. The world lies shrouded in darkness, the darkness of socialism it's clearly talking about. That building was not privatized. If it were, it wouldn't even be there. The government would use eminent domain to clear it out, but that's far too much government power. And this is economic propaganda here. The wind's dying. That's what happens when you use too many windmills. I mean, we were warned about that, and these are the consequences. Now, what's happening here? And they're going to talk about the seas being Of course, the seas are raging. Again, liberal propaganda, probably from global warming. They're claiming the ice caps are melting, but there's no proof of that. And here's mountains and looks like some swampland. Looks fine to me, perfectly habitable. Clear cut that, make a casino. The earth decays, yeah. You can make a casino out of that land and legalize gambling. Nothing wrong with this at all, from what I can see so far. And this looks like a kingdom here. The people believe in a prophecy, patiently awaiting its fulfillment. That's problematic. Shouldn't put your trust in religion. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. They sound like hippies. After a long journey, 4 young travelers did at last appear. Well, I guess that's me, Beth Harris, StossDrunk, and we're carrying crystals, so of course we're hippies. I'm assuming, Beth, they're all your crystals?
That's right. I got them back in 1947 when I was at a commune. And we sat around in a circle and we played music. Do you know the song If I Had a Hammer?
I don't really think this is the time for that, Beth, but thank you. All right, so let's go ahead and work our magic here. All right. Oh, we could even use our mouse in this game. Classy. Is my controller still working? It is. We're going to stick with the controller here. So let's go into the castle. Castle Coronaria. Now, the problem here is obviously that... Oh, look at that. We can move diagonal. That's new. And we can run. Perfect. See, Libertarian already. We have a free movement, which is like the free market. Now, I've played the NES game, which is why I'm familiar with this. And I know that we can't really do much around this castle here. So we're just going to have to go up and visit the king, where he's going to give us our mission. And we don't even have to talk with him, but I figure formalities and everything, we want to put on a good, I guess a good showing for them. Tom, have you ever been in the castle?
Well, back when I was on tour for Rain Dogs, I stayed at a Holiday Inn that had 3 floors. And in that sense, I guess you could say, it was like a castle of capitalism.
Well, frankly, that's the best kind of castle. Alright, welcome, travelers. I'm told you carry crystals. Is this true? Beth, you still got them?
You have them right here in my hand.
Thank you, Beth. Lucan's prophecy. When darkness fails, world for warriors and light shall come. We're still working that prophecy angle, aren't we? Your Majesty, we cannot be certain that these are the words foretold by the prophet. We're here with fucking crystals. Do you think we just came up with them for no reason? That guy's a cynic. The kings, maybe the king's too trusting. If they stand before us with the crystals, I cannot dismiss this as mere coincidence. Alright, so he wants us to rescue his daughter, Sarah. I don't really know if we should be, like, propagating the monarchy like this. Garland. Isn't that the Supreme Court nominee? Taking refuge in the Chaos Shrine, which lies to our north. Of course, we do tend to save the princess ourselves, but Garland's the finest sword in the kingdom. We have no one who can match him. Alright, so... again, there's a bridge that he'll rebuild for us. That's nice. I mean, money would be better, but we'll take it. So it begins the quest to defeat Merrick Garland and his liberal agenda for the Supreme Court. So let's go ahead and we're going to make some changes here. We're going to put StossDrunk as the leader of the party, the de facto leader. He's actually more of a puppet government. He's just going to be the face of the party here to help us absorb attacks and deal out damage. And meanwhile, I'll be like the Dick Cheney of sorts, behind the scenes, manipulating him and keeping Beth Harris's socialist urges in check and making sure Tom Waits doesn't drink all the potions thinking that they're alcohol. What do you have to say to that, Tom?
The piano has been drinking. Not me. Not me.
That's not encouraging, Tom, but thanks for the input. So the first thing we need to do here is get some weapons here. I mean, the warrior's got a knife. StossDrunk has a knife. I've got a knife. Beth has a staff of communism. And Tom's also carrying a staff. So let's go into the weapon shop here. He's welcoming us. Oh, we got a nice little waltzing orchestration behind us. That's nice. So a rapier. Attack plus 9, accuracy plus 5. We're going to take 2 of those. And for only 8. This is, that's a steal. I can't even remember the last time you could buy a rapier for 8 gold pieces.
I remember when you could do that. I once bought a broadsword for... it was about a chicken and a halfpence, and it was back in 1911, before the Great War. Really took...
Beth, that's enough. We're good. Thank you for that. All right. But it looks like, I mean, we could buy a hammer. Yeah, we'll give Beth a hammer. It goes with that song you were singing earlier.
So now I do have the hammer, and I can hammer in the morning.
Yeah, you can hammer in the morning, the evening, all over this land, Beth.
You do know the song.
Okay, you caught me. Alright, so rapier's equipped, hammer's equipped. And, Tom, you can well, no, actually that brings your attack down, where a knife apparently is weaker than a stick. That's, sounds like liberal propaganda. It's like the pen is mightier than the sword. They're telling us not to invest in weaponry. This is an allegory for cutting military spending, is how I'm reading this. Alright, we better get some armor here, too. So, we're all wearing clothes, which is fairly obvious. 2 of us can wear chainmail. The rest of you guys can just wear clothes. Is that fine with you, Tom?
Perfectly fine on this end. I've got the top hat, though. I don't know if you can buy more of those in this game.
As far as I know, Tom, there's no top hat merchants, but, you know, you do you. Alright, 2 chainmails, which we will subsequently equip here to StossDrunk. You know, StossDrunk, you've been awful quiet lately. Everything going okay over there? Oh yeah, things are just great over here, eh? Don't want to give off that bad impression. Oh, don't worry, you're giving off a perfectly fine impression. That's not what I'm talking about. Well, live and learn, I suppose. Now, we've got our weapons, so we need to get some magic here as well. Alright, find anything to your liking? Yes, we need some cure spells, but they cost 50 each. They've cut down the prices in this game. So, Beth, you can get a cure spell.
Where I come from, we like to call that free healthcare.
Well, it's not free, Beth, if you had to pay for it. But whatever your socialist propaganda tells you, and I'll pick up some cure magic for myself. The Dia Harm spell for attacking the undead, you can use that, Beth. And then, we don't really need to worry about that stuff. Let's go to our black magic shop and pick up some stuff for Tom Waits. Tom, how do you feel about using fire and thunder?
Funny thing about that, actually, that was going to be the prospective name of Swordfish Trombones, until my wife and Captain Beefheart convinced me to change the name.
That's an interesting little fact there. Didn't know that. Alright, so you're equipped with all that, and maybe we can afford a little bit here, where I'll get a little bit of thunder myself to help zap the commies away. Or maybe we should kill them with fire. Well, it doesn't matter. Let's take ourselves into combat here. See how things go. We'll just walk around the forest. Walk diagonally around. Oh, here we go. First combat. And it's a bunch of imps. Alright, so let's start attacking these things. See how this works. Alright, StossDrunk gets some first blood. Now, even Beth, you killed something. How does that feel to draw blood?
I'll be honest with you, it feels amazing.
Well, apparently Beth Harris has a bit of a bloodlust there. Alright, he's dead. Alright, we killed everything. First go. Good job, team. We got some gold for it, too, because, of course, we're investing in our futures. Now, some people would like to say that we don't have to buy these things, that the government should supply things for us, but I'd like to say that this gold should go into a 401k or a diversified stock portfolio. It's not the company's job to take care of us, nor is it the government's. Alright, another round of imps defeated there, as Tom gets scratched by the imp's knife. Are you holding up there alright, Tom?
He's got a homemade special.
Alright, that's actually the lyrics to Talking Spanish, but alright, well, you do you. Let's kill a few more imps here. Oh, Beth got attacked.
It's just a flesh wound. I'm doing okay, really.
And one of the imps ran away in fear. That's what the free market will do. It makes people cower. Alright, StossDrunk, you gained some health points there. How you feeling? Feeling great, eh? Again, the Canadian showing up in you there. I'm not Canadian. I'm from Minnesota and I don't live there anymore. Alright, well, a little hostile. I only gained 2 health points, but I gained some points in strength. That's nice. Oh, look at Beth. Beth, you got stat bonuses all around there.
That's the power of socialism. It equals everything across the board.
Alright, whatever, Beth. Whatever you want to say. And Tom, you gained some, you gained 1 health point. And, oh, that's really about it there for you, isn't it? It's, slightly disappointing. Kind of like your recent album output. Considering you haven't released something in, what, about 10 years at this point in time?
Creative genius takes time. I don't judge you for not being on 2020 in decades. I would suggest you give me some more time.
Well, far be it from me to question the madman of music. Alright, the hammer lands for Beth. And everybody else is doing a pretty bang-up job. Tom gets another scratch there, and I take out the last remaining imp. I think we're going to try to get up to maybe level 3, but let's spend the night at the inn here. 30 gil per night, that's obscene, frankly. I don't know how you'd... Well, I mean, they did say that things are rotting, so supply and demand, things are getting tough, hotel prices are going to go up, it makes sense. They've got to earn their living, so I'm not going to question it. Well, let's try to get up to level 3 at least, and then we're going to go up to the Temple of Fiends to face Merrick Garland. And I think there's an auto battle if I hit triangle here. Or no, it's square. There we go. And look at that, you're battling by yourselves. I don't even have to do anything. But now, actually, I don't think that's a good idea. That sounds like that's just big government taking over and controlling our actions. So we can't have that. No, we're going to have... Well, I guess you could say, on another hand, since I'm controlling it, it's kind of like the invisible hand of the free market. So we are going to use that feature. See, it's efficiently attacking instead of using magic, which is exactly what should be done. Why spend the magic points when you can get the job done with weapons and we can save our magic attacks for Garland? Oh, look at that. It's a goblin guard. It's basically another goblin except purple and blue. Kind of disappointing. Oh, whatever. It's dead. Alright, we're one away from a level. Let's hope we get some better level up stats here. Oh, it's a wolf this time. And wolves are not bad creatures. They're like man's best friend turned feral. And there's our level up. StossDrunk gets stats across the board there. Look at that. His intellect went from 1 to 2. In fairness, he's a lot smarter than that, but at least he got some other stats up. I only gain 2 health points and an agility point. Suddenly starting to think that free market isn't being very fair to me here. But that's why it's a free market, not a fair market. And once again, the socialist whore Beth gets more stat bonuses all across the board.
I told you that my magic would be saving your ass, and I was right.
And Tom gets a point to luck. And his HP. Boy, the invisible hand of the free market isn't helping us an awful lot here today. Interesting fact, though, for those of you who have played the original Final Fantasy for the NES, that game was basically one of the buggiest games ever made. For example, the intelligence stat that's supposed to govern the strength of magic didn't even work. So no matter how high your intelligence points were, your magic wouldn't get any stronger from it. And that was completely an error in programming that they fixed in subsequent re-releases, but it makes going back to the original version of this game rather difficult when you take that into account. Now, here they call this the Chaos Shrine. It was originally at the Temple of Fiends. And when we go here, oh, more Goblin Guards. Let's take those out pretty quick. Beth lands a good hit there. Good job, Beth. Alright, the leather cap, which we will give to me, because I deserve the fruits of our labor. Oh, a bunch of wolves. Okay. So they took out those. I got bit, but fortunately my armor protected me. Landed some good hits in there, and they're all gone. Got some decent experience out of that as well. We could get another level up here in the Temple of Fiends. But yeah, like I said, going back to the old Final Fantasy can be difficult because of the way that that game is just broken in almost all of its programming. There's a bunch of spells that don't work that are supposed to increase your power, and some of them actually that are supposed to increase your evasion and actually decrease it. So that doesn't help. Oh, there's a lot of wolves here, and they've got the ambush position on us. Also, the first game's notorious for the fact that if you try to target an enemy... Ooh, Tom Waits is getting hurt there bad. We gotta help Tom. Let's see. Both of us are going to try to cure Tom, and Tom, while you're at it, why don't you try to cast a fire spell there? There we go. We saved Tom Waits. And that extra cure spell is unnecessary, but that's what happens when you support a socialist government like that, Beth.
He's better safe than dead, what I always say.
It's that what you said when you were helping the Sandinistas out in South America?
How did you know about that?
I know everything about you, Beth. All your dirty little communist whore secrets. Alright, we don't need to cast any more magic. Let's just start attacking other things. But yeah, in the original, if you tried to target an enemy that was defeated by another person's attack, your attack would just go wasted and wouldn't affect anything. So for instance here, we just defeated that purple wolf, so if everybody else was attacking the purple wolf, all those attacks would go to waste. We should probably try to heal up Tom Waits a little bit again. Tom, how you feeling over there? You holding up okay? Tom, can you hear me? Tommy, can you hear me? Yeah, you get that reference?
I got it. I just don't like it. Everything's fine. Focus on what you're trying to do with the wolves. I'll just be over here twiddling on the keys. I got a question for you.
What's that, Tom?
Do you know why shrimp never give to charity?
I can't say that I do.
Because they're shellfish.
I don't know why I invited you on this team. StossDrunk gained a considerable amount of experience there, and that boosted us up to another level. And look at that, his health jumped up a good 29 points. That's like a stock market, like a bull market there. And I gained a considerable amount of HP as well. Fantastic. And my strength and stamina went up, and my luck. Beth, finally, your socialism failed you as you gained very little. And Tom actually gained some HP and 1 point to intelligence. You feel any smarter there, Tom?
Marginally.
That's about what I expected. Now, the doors here to the upper right and the... Oh, we got some undead. But these doors that you'll see to the upper right and the lower right are actually locked by a magic key. So there's nothing we're going to be able to do to get through them just yet. So we're not even going to bother with them. Oh, the werewolf is dangerous because it can poison us. So we're not going to mess around with that too much. We're going to focus our attacks on it, including using some fire magic on it, just in case we need that extra firepower. Because we don't have any antidotes with us to cure poison. And sure enough, Tom Waits is almost dead again. So we need to be really careful now. One of us is going to have to heal him fast. Fortunately, StossDrunk, thank you, took out that goblin guard. And we need to heal him quick. Now, StossDrunk, do you have anything to say about that werewolf you defeated? I just wanted to thank him, and I hope he has a great rest of his day. That's kind of what I expected you to say. But we did gain another level out of it pretty quick there. As StossDrunk gains more agility, stamina, and luck, which is fantastic. I gain more intelligence and luck, so my spells will hit a bit harder. Beth, once again, socialism not working out well for you. Sucks to be you. And finally, Tom gets some decent stats bonuses here. Another good jump up in health and agility and luck going up again. He's the luckiest son of a bitch on the party at this rate. Kind of like your career. Oh boy, some Gigas worms. These were called creeps in the NES version.
I'd like to interject to mention that my career was not based out of luck, but out of hard work and a unique personality that my music just captures the spirit of. That and just being weird.
Well, no argument from me, Tom. Take out the Gigas worms here, and Tom, if you wouldn't mind using a little fire on that guy, take him out for us. That would help us out pretty tremendously here. Alright, that first Gigas worm's dead, and here comes the fire from Tom Waits. And Tom takes them out in one hit. That's actually pretty remarkable. Thanks for that, Tom. I wish you could do that more often.
I call that attack the Grapefruit Moon.
Is there a reason for that?
Because it's off of my first album, and I took him down in one hit.
I failed to see the correlation there, but I appreciate the enthusiasm and the naming of your attacks. Alright, we're going to go heal up before we take out Garland. Unfortunately, I'm almost dead. I took some serious damage there, so we'll try to cure myself and see if we can attack everything else before I die. Fortunately, the goblin shouldn't kill me. Now, even if I hadn't healed, those attacks were barely just scratches, so let's see if we can finish these guys off fast, get back to where we need to be, and then we'll have a defeated Merrick Garland. They've tremendously dropped the amount of experience points you need to go from one level to the next in this game, which, I don't know, that feels like a handout. It feels like government welfare in a way. I'm supposed to be able to earn my keep around here. We get some preemptive attacks, so everybody's able to take down their respective target, letting us go back here to heal up. And we might be able to afford enough to get me that second magic spell. I don't like the fact it doesn't display the amount of gold you have when you're trying to go to sleep. It should display the amount of gil, but can't have everything, I suppose. It is actually your own financial responsibility to know how much money you have, so the game is actually teaching you how to be responsible with your finances. So we already have thunder, so let's buy fire for myself so we can kill things with fire. And focus lowers one's enemy's evasion, sleep. Those spells aren't really that useful, so we don't need those. We're pretty good for level 1 spells now. But what we should do, to be on the safe side, is start to buy some antidotes with some of our leftover money, because you're going to need them later. So we want to be prepared. Later on, there's a cave we have to go to called the Marsh Cave, which is filled with poisonous creatures that can do a number on you pretty quick if you don't have antidotes with you. So we'll go ahead and kill these goblin guards, get us a decent amount of experience. Beth, did you have something to say?
I just wanted to speak to the public about the price of antidotes. With the way that big pharmaceuticals are rampaging through our lives, that's why the prices are so high. They should be subsidized with generics so that people don't have to pay for the name brands.
I understand where you're coming from, Beth, except for the fact that these companies that create these antidotes have to invest a tremendous amount of money into them to make them profitable. So by allowing generics to come onto the market so quickly, even for antidotes, you're cutting into the profits of these big corporations who won't be able to finance these funds and produce more and better medications at cheaper prices eventually, because you're cutting into their wealth and their revenue stream. It just doesn't make any sense. So basically what I'm saying is you can take your price gouging accusations and shove them up your, hey, now let's keep this calm. There's a man there with a horned helmet and he's looking over a girl, and I don't like the look of this. It looks pretty bad. I agree, actually. So let's face Merrick Garland here and try to put a stop to this once and for all. So obviously, this is not a good sign.
Is that Merrick Garland or is that Brett Kavanaugh right there?
Is she dying? No, that's just the way she laughs. Alright, the king apparently has no choice but to exchange the kingdom for his daughter's life, and Coronaria will be his. Oh, he's looking at us. That's not good. Well, we're right in front of him. He has bad eyesight. The king's lapdogs. Do you have any idea who you're messing with? Supreme Court Justice. You really think you have what it takes to cross swords with me? Very well, I, Garland, will knock you all down. All right. Time to put this Supreme Court nominee to bed. All right, we'll attack, and I don't know if it's going to be stronger, my attack or my magic. So we'll attack the first round and see how much it does. And, of course, we'll use some fire here. 42 damage, that's pretty good. 5. 45, excellent. I did 19. Fortunately, StossDrunk's there to take the hit for us, like a goalie on a NHL team. Was that another Canadian or Minnesota joke? Not really. Unless you interpret it that way. I'm going to interpret it any way I want, because I don't trust you. That's fair. That's fair. Why don't you talk to us a little more about how great Hagane is? Hagane is a great game. Lay off it, man. So apparently my attacks and my magic are both mediocre. But it was StossDrunk that got the final hit in there. Do you have any parting words for Garland? Actually, yes. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day. Yeah, that figures. Alright, so we're all surrounded the pink-haired anime lady. You've come to rescue me? I am Sarah, Princess... We know, we were sent here for that. Words could never be enough to thank you. I know, that's why we were expecting money. That's the first time anyone's ever defeated Garland. Naturally, if it wasn't, he'd be dead and wouldn't be here, but whatever. Just allow me to show my gratitude with money? Please accompany me to Castle Cornelia, where you give us money? We're not getting money, aren't we? We're just going to get that damn bridge, aren't we? Thank you for returning your daughter to your side. No doubt that we're the warriors of light from Lucas' Okay. How are you going to tell us the prophecy? Yeah, okay. Dark soul consume us all, for crystals never shine. Here, crystal will come to the north. Alright, whatever. North rebuilt, okay. Can we get money? No, not a victory fanfare. I want money. This is why monarchies are not good. Oh, but we do get a loot. Do I look like fucking Sting? Thank you for the loot. Songs from the Labyrinth. There's a deep-cut joke for y'all. Okay. Now we got what we came here for. A loot, apparently. That's what I wanted. A string instrument that was used in the frickin' 1400s.
I used to play a lute in the 1400s.
That doesn't surprise me at all, Beth.
It was a great time. It was the feudal era, and I have pictures.
You couldn't possibly have pictures of that time, Beth. Camera wasn't invented yet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking of the 1940s when I was at the Renaissance Fair. It was still a great time, though. They had horses. And they did this thing where the two horses would ride out. They had people who would hold these lances, and they would try to knock each other off the horse. And that's how they invented the story for Brokeback Mountain, because it broke people's backs.
I'd like to interject to mention that I think some of the elements of that story might not be factual.
Oh, yeah, you think, Tom? I picked the worst fucking teammates. Alright, so they built a bridge for us, which is not exactly what I wanted, but I'll take it. At least she restored our... No, she didn't restore our health points. Oh, there's... yeah, she didn't do anything. Thanks, Princess. You couldn't even give our health back to us. Alright, let's just stay the night again. Now, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go visit Matoya, and then we're going to go to Provoca, the next continent, the next city, and we're going to call our adventure a day as we've completed... Oh, wait, here we go. The iconic story unfolding.
Look at all the birds.
I once wrote a song about a bird. I called it 16 Shots from a 30-06.
What was the song about?
Actually, let me jump in there, so I can tell you. Oh, StossDrunk talks again. Great. So, basically, that Tom Waits song is about a guy who chases after a bird because he shot 16 shells from a 30-06 at him. Now, mind you, a 30-06 is a rifle, and the bullets that go into them are not called shells. Those would be for a shotgun. Well, again, the 30-06 is a rifle. But as the story goes... The singer of the song shoots 16 shells from a 30-06 at a crow in the sky and misses every one of them. So in retaliation for the bird dodging all of the shells and flying into a tree, the singer of the song goes after the bird, climbs the tree, grabs the bird, shoves it inside of a guitar, and then proceeds to wail on the guitar, playing the strings just to drive the bird nuts. That about sums up that song. Is that about right, Tom?
It misses the dramatic nuance of how he had to climb the tree to get the bird, but that's still about right. That's what I write songs about. Also, people named Martha and Alice. And there was probably a song about a Veronica in there. No, wait, that was Elvis Costello, but either way, yeah, that's basically the song.
I have no words. I actually had a band, though, called John Stossel and the Stossettes, and we had an entire album, and not to mention I don't know if you've heard, but I have my own mixtape with my lead-off single, Without Stoss. I don't know if any of you have heard it. I've heard about the song, and I've also listened to it. What were your thoughts on it, StossDrunk? Well, it was certainly a song, and you sang it.
I need to hear this. It sounds majestic in quality.
No, it's not majestic. Don't even. You can stop right there, Beth. It's not majestic at all. Well, aside from the majesty of my music, we had to tackle these wargwolves. I don't even know if I'm pronouncing wargwolf. That sounds like something. It sounds like something that a drowning person would try to yell out for help. Wargwolf. If you're underwater, it makes perfect sense. Wargwolf.
That inspires me for another song on my newest album.
What's the name of the song gonna be there, Tom?
I'm thinking of Wargwolf.
Now, that would be an intellectual property kind of violation there, considering I came up with the name.
Actually, titles can't be copyrighted, so I'm perfectly fine.
He's right, titles can't be copyrighted. As I gain some experience and level up, as does Beth, getting a good jump in health points. And Tom, look at you, you're building up intellect and agility.
I'm a Renaissance man of sorts.
That's putting it mildly.
Did you ever see that movie Renaissance Man with Danny DeVito? And I think Mark Wahlberg was in it. It almost sounds like a fever dream when I put it that way.
It wasn't a fever dream. I know what movie he's talking about. It was directed by Penny Marshall. Now, StossDrunk with the facts here today on Penny Marshall films. Didn't know you had it in you. Neither did I, but here I am with a terrible impression of myself that you continue to do, and I don't know why you're doing this to me. Well, I'm doing it to myself just as much as I'm doing it to you.
I think that could be taken multiple ways. You probably should have said that.
Oh, you're right, Beth, you're right. Meanwhile, here Matoya, she's just looking for her eye, which is kind of creepy in a way. Have you tried looking in your skull? No, she's looking for a crystal ball that she uses to see because she was cursed to have her eyesight removed by the Dark King Astos, or Astus. I keep saying the word ass. But anyway, he took her eyesight and she needs a crystal ball to see.
Maybe she wouldn't need a crystal ball if...
I know, universal healthcare, Beth, I know. But no, it would still... the waiting times would be so high that she wouldn't be able to get in to see somebody to get that eye fixed for her. So even then, your socialism fails.
I don't think you're giving it a fair shake.
No, Beth. Just shut up and hit the Gygus worm, okay? We're getting hit a little bit there. That one hit Tom Waits pretty hard. How'd that feel, Beth?
I'm fine.
As we continue to travel across the land, we go down and turn the... Oh, we got confronted. Oh, it's an ogre. Looks like it's time to enter into an ogre battle. I've played that game. It's It's quite good, eh? Turning Canadian there again there, StossDrunk? Only because you're making me. Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, kill it with fire. Unless he hits us first, which is going to hurt if he does. Ooh, yeah, that did take a chunk out of StossDrunk's health there. Alright, one more round of just normal attack should finish him off. And there we go. I got the last hit on him because I'm that damn good. Alright. So we're going to stay the night and wrap up the first chapter of our adventure there. So we're going to rest up. Pleasant dreams, 50 gold, because we're further into land where apparently the prices are higher and greater demand of rooms, which again, free market doing what it will. So we better save the game so we can continue our adventure later. But I'll do that off stream. So at least we've all got the adventure on hand, as we're next going to have to get some new weapons and armor in the land of Provoca here. Get a pirate ship by defeating some pirates, and I don't mean corporate pirates either, but like the actual kind. And not the Somalian kind either, just like the high seas swashbucklers. And then I want to thank everybody here. StossDrunk, thank you for joining me. I'd say it was a pleasure, but I'm not Canadian, and you sound nothing like me. Fair enough. Beth, thank you for being here.
It's great to be back out of the crypt. I mean, my nursing home. I mean, it's just good to be alive.
And Tom, thanks for joining us as well. It was a pleasure having you here, too.
It was indeed a pleasure. You can catch me out on tour sometime either 20 years ago or 40 years from now.
All right. Well, with all that being said, I want to thank everyone for tuning in for this video, and maybe you'll see me next time as we continue our quest. I'm not sure how it will go, but then again, it's not like I'm actually a red mage, so who knows where this adventure will lead us. Give me a break.